So this will be the first of two videos explaining how to play Gettysburg, A Time for Heroes. This particular video will be quite short. It's simply dealing with the setup of the game. Most of it is straightforward. The one element that's a little bit confusing perhaps is the way that we organise the activation cards. We're using the Vassal module to demonstrate this, and as a result a lot of things are already set up on the board. However, what I'll do as we go through is just explain how you would set them up if you were doing it manually with a physical copy of the game. And I'll be referring to page 9 of the standard rule book, section 13, game setup. So first thing you need to do is decide which of you is playing Confederates and which of you are playing the USA, and orientate the game board accordingly. Then you will place the initial cohesion markers on each of the formations. The formations have boxes along the side of the map for the USA and for the CSA, and each of them will have a cube that you place in the first box of the cohesion track. So you'll see in the Vassal module these are already set up for you. That's the first thing to do. Having done that, place the cubes in the Commander-in-Chief boxes here for Meade and here for Lee. Having done that, you place the momentum cubes in a pool where everybody can reach them. Here you'll see we've got the stack of markers in the Vassal module. You'll simply place those in a pile somewhere that both players can access them, and you'll do the same with the redoubt markers. Next, you take your tactics deck and extract, for the Confederate player you need to extract the Rebel Yell and Louisiana Tigers tactics card, so the CSA player takes those, and for the Union you need to take out the General Bufford and the Iron Brigade. So put those into each player's hands. Then the remainder of the tactics deck, give it a good shuffle and place it here on the board. Once the deck is shuffled, you then need to draw out 3 cards and place them in these 3 locations here. We now move to the activation cards. Now, these are already allocated in the Vassal module to their turn decks. However, what I'll do now is explain to you how you sort them into turn decks. So both players will do this simultaneously. You take your 18 cards, and if you look in the top left hand corner, you will see a number, and this number relates to the turn deck. So all the ones with a number 1 will go in turn deck 1, all the ones with a number 2 in turn deck 2, and so on for 3 and 4. So sort your decks out in that manner. As you sort them, give them a good shuffle as well. Each player will then draw 3 of their turn 1 cards. You'll do it normally with a physical copy of the game. It's a little bit more involved with the Vassal module. We send the deck to the main deck, and then we draw multiple cards. We draw 3, and you can then drag them into your hand thus. So that's doing it for the USA. The Confederate would do it in the same manner. Players then inspect the first 3 cards they've got, and they will return 1 to the turn 1 deck. So arbitrarily I'll return this one. Basically, you will start the game with 2 cards in your hand, and you can choose 2 of the initial 3 for that purpose. So once both players have done that, then the next thing to do is make sure your reinforcement chits are somewhere that you can get to them easily. These should be placed face down in front of you so that your opponent can't see the actual values on the chits. That is it for the setup, other than to quickly mention a couple of items that we missed from the rulebook. Here we have a stack of CSA control tokens. They're actually oblongs in the physical game, and when the Confederates take control of a victory space, then you place one of these on that location to indicate Confederate control. And the other item is the victory point marker here on this track. And that is basically the game setup ready to play. And as I said at the beginning, we'll do a second video which will explain the mechanisms of playing the game. We'll walk you through 2 or 3 activations to show you the key elements.